Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Superman and Lois, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for episode 15, otherwise known as the finale for season 1. This episode is otherwise entitled Last Sons of Krypton, which could be a double meaning. But yeah, let's watch the trailer. It's a bit of a longer one, so yeah, let's watch it.
All you care about is one person when everyone else on this planet's about to die. How pathetically human.
Why would he take Jordan?
I don't know how much time we have before he's gone.
I have seen how capable the boys have become. They're strong, like their father.
Like their mother.
You can't do it alone. You have to let us help you.
Need to evacuate Smallville.
We can go, we can stay and help.
We stay and help. We're gonna fail. Again.
Where is my son?
You have no idea what's coming next.
Dad!
Even Superman won't be able to stop it.
Oh my God.
Dad!
Please help me, I don't want to die.
Superman and Lois, season finale Tuesday at 9, 8 central. Free next day only on the CW app.
So yeah, as I said, a bit of a longer trailer. I think it was about roughly about 50 to 55 to a minute long, 55 seconds to like a minute long, something along those lines. Usually they're about 20 to 25 seconds. So yeah, but of course, last episode, the penultimate episode, set this episode up pretty much perfectly. A bit of a slower beginning, and then it just went, let's just turn it up to 11, and it went pretty crazy towards the end, with of course it ending with Jordan being taken by Morgan Edge / Tal-Rho / the Eradicator. So yeah, it sets up this episode pretty damn well, and I can't wait to see how it plays out. But of course, before we jump into the actual breakdown of the trailer, we will quickly go over the synopsis or description for the episode, as it does give us a bit more context as to what's going on. But of course, throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts about this trailer, what you're looking forward to most heading into it, any predictions, any theories, everything like that. I'm always curious to read them. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video and you're looking forward to this episode and finale, why not drop a like on the video to show your support. In the action-packed season finale, Superman's worst nightmare comes to life, and Lois confronts Leslie Lar. Meanwhile, Lana, Kyle, and Sarah agree to stay to help General Lane. So yeah, it's pretty brief. Usually finale synopsis is usually brief because they don't want to spoil stuff, and usually the trailers are fairly brief because they don't want to spoil us some stuff as well. Even though this trailer is longer and sort of goes against that, but still adheres to it at the exact same time. But yeah, as I was saying earlier on, we had one hell of a conclusion to last episode, which definitely set up a big showdown and finale for this season in this episode. And yeah, they really do highlight in this trailer that the tension and suspense will continue throughout this episode. Now, it must be said, even though this is a much longer trailer than we usually get, I would say over around twice the length, or roughly around that, like I said earlier in the video, it doesn't give too much away. It focuses in on a lot of the same stuff for the most part, which could be frustrating for some of you, or maybe most of you, I don't know, but I prefer it. It gives us a good sized tease for the episode without saying, oh, here's the entire episode, we just spoiled the main bit, sorry for spoiling it all, But in regards to the stuff they do show us throughout this trailer, they do offer some stuff up that is worth discussing and even tease some big moments as well, which we'll talk about throughout this video. Now, one of the main focuses of the trailer is this encounter between Lois and Leslie Lar, which pretty much features from the start of the trailer all the way to the end of it, and is even focused in on the synopsis. Now, what we hear Leslie sort of I guess you could say schooling Lois on, if you want to call it, is that Lois only cares about finding and saving one person in the entire world at this one moment, when the rest of the world is in danger and on the path to destruction. That one person, of course, being her son Jordan, who we saw taken at the end of the last episode by Morgan Edge / Tal-Rho / the Eradicator, but I'll just call him Morgan to keep things simple because we've known him as Morgan for the most time. With Leslie even saying how pathetically human it is of Lois to be on that, in that state of thought, in that state of mind, just that line of thinking. But that's the beauty of Lois. That's the beauty of her. She is the best of humanity. She is what makes Clark connected to humanity. If Lois wasn't there, I don't know, is Clark as tapped in? I mean, that's what makes Lois and Clark such a good couple. And I think this show has really highlighted that from episode 1 through to now. And I don't think it would be too much of a surprise to see that finding Jordan, her son, making sure he is safe, and hopefully ridding him of what happened to him last episode when Morgan embedded the consciousness of his father Zeta Rho within Jordan is the key, or at the very least a major player in stopping what Morgan is trying to do. So while it might seem like selfish, or as, you know, Leslie Lar put it, pathetically human just to go after Jordan, it could be the main reason that they're able to stop what's coming and save everyone, or at least save the majority of people. Now, on a side note, I did see people in the comments of the trailer wondering how Lois could be having a conversation with Leslie outside of the kryptonite holding cell, which we do see Leslie within in this episode. But outside of it, how's this conversation going on without Leslie, well, tearing Lois's head off? And I think it's pretty obvious that Leslie has the dampening handcuffs on her that we saw previously on her in the previous episode when she was transported, because you don't see her hands come up. Her hands like down by her side. So yeah, she probably has the handcuffs on most likely. But one of the big questions from this trailer and heading into this episode just as a whole is what happens with Jordan this episode. Now we see what could just be repeated shots from last episode where he is embedded with Zeta Rho's consciousness, or they could be from the opening portions of this finale within like that nuclear plant. And is that meant to be the same nuclear plant from episode 1? I think it's meant to be. It looks the same. It looks like it has the same cracks on it that Superman fixed. I think it's meant to be. I'm not too sure if they highlight that in the episode, but yeah, anyway. But more interestingly, with Jordan, we do see him in this area, like in the middle to later portions of the trailer, that is either like surrounded by fire, or that he's looking at something burning, or it's potentially lava. I would say fire, but it just sort of is like blurred out in the back, so who knows if it is 100% fire or not. But it does appear in this area that Jordan is Jordan. It's not Jordan, you know, controlled by Zeta Rho. Now, we know through this eradicator process that it does take a while for the Kryptonian side to fully take over. It could be weeks, it could be days. It just really depends on how willing the host is to allow the Kryptonian consciousness to fully take over. So with Leslie Lar, for example, she's been like that for a while. She's completely in control of her host. So it will be a race against the clock to get to Jordan before he is fully taken over, whilst also stopping Zeta Rho from doing what he needs to do through Jordan while he has control of the host. But we do see that Clark or Superman or, you know, Jordan's dad does arrive there, and we hear Jordan saying, "I don't want to die, Dad. I don't want to die." So I'm very curious to see what leads to that happening. Maybe it's just the fact that Zeta Rho's still in there and they don't really have a quick fix to take that out of, out of Jordan, because Morgan is actually the living and breathing eradicator. They probably need Morgan, I guess, to reverse that. So that's going to be one hell of a scientific experiment and equation and just process to try and figure all that out. Like, I don't know. Does Jordan die? Is that a cliffhanger? Is that like a big shock in the finale that Jordan actually dies? I don't know, because Jordan is not a son of Lois and Clark in the comics. It's Jonathan. It's Jonathan Kent is the son, and Jonathan is obviously the one that's not in danger in this episode. So did they create Jordan to die? He wasn't there pre-crisis. It was only Jonathan. So I don't know. I wouldn't say it's very likely that Jordan would die, but I mean, man, he didn't exist before. So was he created just to be killed off? I don't know. But throughout the trailer, we do get various locations, and I do wonder whether this episode like jumps between locations depending on what's going on, because we do see like Superman flying around the world, flies by like a church. Not too sure where the church is meant to be. It looks a bit, I know it looks like it could be in Italy, but then at the same time it looks like it could be in Spain or Mexico or something like that. I'm not too sure where this church is, or even if it's from like a previous episode. We do see Steel landing at Morgan's Desert Fortress, but I'm not too sure if this is a reused shot from a few episodes ago when we saw Superman controlled by Zod, and this was Steel landing there. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. It could be reused shot. I'm not too sure at the current time when recording this. And of course, Smallville. But Smallville seems to be like where everything's going to go down, because we see the army presence there. We even have in the synopsis where the Cushings, or, you know, Lana Lang, Kyle Cushing, Sarah Cushing, are going to stay in Smallville and potentially going to help what's going on there. I don't know. It seems like Smallville's going to be the final stand, and it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on there. So I'm interested to see how big of a destruction toll, if you want to call it, Smallville goes throughout this episode based off the finale. But it seems like the final showdown will at least partially take place in Smallville in like the final act of the episode. And I'm not too sure about Metropolis. Maybe they did all the Metropolis stuff last episode and teased the destruction of Metropolis then. We don't go back there. Once again, we'll have to wait and see. But one thing that piqued my interest, and I wonder if any of you guys caught it when watching the trailer, is that we do see John Henry Irons, or, Steel, in space looking to be struggling. Like, his suit is struggling. And he's just in space in general. And I do wonder, will we get a similar scene to how he attempted to handle the evil Kryptonian or evil Kal-El issue on his Earth, which, the first time around resulted in him being transported to Earth Prime through like a breach portal black hole thing. So maybe in this instance it works. Maybe he goes back to his Earth, or he just does the same thing, he goes back to his Earth, or he actually succeeds in what he originally tried to do on his Earth, and maybe Morgan goes through there, or maybe it's Leslie Lar that goes through there, or whatever it is. I think the main thing is Morgan, because he's not really Morgan anymore. He's this weird eradicator being. So maybe he would obviously be the thing that needs to go through that black hole portal, whatever it might be, maybe directly into the sun to burn and die. I'm not too sure what it would exactly be, but maybe John Henry Irons or Steel is the one to do that. And to be completely honest, I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, he was the one here and that sort of gave the warning and everything like that, and sort of prepped Earth Prime and Superman to get ready. So it'd be somewhat fitting if he's the one to actually figure it out and, put it to rest completely by the end of it. But also going forward, I'm not too sure. Like, I don't know, does anyone think that Steel could work in the show consistently going forward? I'm not too sure if he, I guess it depends what their story plans are for season 2. Like, they could easily write a story where John Henry Irons or Steel works into it perfectly well. I just don't know if consistently going forward it would 100% work. I guess you don't know until they do it, you know what I mean? So we'll have to wait and see. But maybe they finish off the season where he gets a happy ending. Maybe his Earth wasn't destroyed. Maybe his Earth is there. Maybe his daughter is still in that bunker. I mean, that'd be a happy ending if he goes back to his Earth, has managed to get back there, goes to that bunker, and his daughter's been there the entire time. I think that'd be a happy ending. Let's wait and see what they do then, if that actually happens. But of course, as we head into a finale, one of the things we always got to, keep in the back of our heads, or sometimes is at the front of our heads, and it's the first thing we're thinking, is cliffhangers. What could be the cliffhanger for this season in regards to it? I think there's one option that I think would be fairly cool to see. It just depends if they always had this plan with the character or not. And that would be Jonathan Powers. So not Austin, it's Austin Powers' son. I mean, like, Jonathan's power set, like his Kryptonian heritage and Kryptonian lineage and Kryptonian blood comes through, and he showcases powers. Maybe he flies. Maybe the first thing he learns to do is fly, or something along those lines. Maybe it's not super strength or anything like that, like the heat vision like Jordan has, but Jonathan can fly. That'd be fairly cool. Or it just could be setting up the next villain. Maybe it's a former Superman villain that's maybe been locked up, or another extraterrestrial threat from somewhere in the universe, or maybe it's another multiverse related thing. I'm not too sure what it could be, but I would expect a cliffhanger. I would be somewhat surprised if there wasn't one, but yeah, I think obviously setting up the villain is obviously one that a lot of shows do, but even maybe just setting up Jonathan's powers or something like that. Maybe he just slightly floats or something like that. It'd be pretty cool to see what they can do. But yeah, that's it, guys. That is it. We got the finale coming up in less than a week. Can't wait to watch it and talk about it. Hopefully it is satisfying for the most part. But yeah, let me know all your various thoughts in the comments section down below. We're looking forward to the most. If you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it, show support. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.